only reach for a seat. She was making for the trades on the outside, and the downhill run to Patakete. Off the wind on this heading line of Marquesas, 80 feet of the water line. Nights we made you wait in the noisy bar, and I'm around and tried to call you, but on the midnight watch I realized why twice you think about how many times.
Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Today's invocation is by Rick Lemley.
Let's bow our heads and pray. Dear Lord, as we begin the holiday seasons already, we hope that you give us insight to check with our friends and neighbors to see that they are not in need for anything during this holiday time. It's a time of giving, which Rotarians are noted for our community, for our family, for our friends. We bless Cheryl and the food she's provided for us today for our nourishment. We provide with that to give the best we can in your name. Amen.
Amen. Join me in the flag salute, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Join me in the four-way test. Is it truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build better friendships? It'll be beneficial to all concerned. Thank you. The song today is?
I'm just feeling like I need a little love. I don't know why. So you guys get to serenade each other. Let me call you sweetheart. Ready? And we have the song thing on the table. Chad helped me pass it out. Thank you, Chad. Okay. Can I have like a tone for let me call you sweetheart? Like wait, is it let? Where's our singer? He's not here. Okay. All right. We're going to wing it. All right. You ready? It's Let Me Call You Sweetheart. It's on the song list. 1, 2, 3. Let me call you sweetheart. With you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep the love light burning in your eyes so blue. Let me call you sweetheart. I'm in love with you. Thank you. Well done, well done.
Do we have any visiting Rotarians with us today? Okay. Do we have any guests of Rotarians? Lynn?
Dan's pulling the list, hopefully, on the approval list for Rotary, but
Hey, Dan, his name came across my desk just this morning. Anyway, any other guests of Rotarians? Okay. Well, time for a little club business, and one of the things I had on my agenda today was the Christmas party, and I think they were handing out cards. I hope all of you got them. If not, pick one up as you leave today. December 4th, it's right here at the community center, 6 p.m. Is there anybody here from the committee that wants to tell us what's going to be going on? Other than fellowship and food. Oh, good. Okay. So anyway, we'll be we're trying to raise some money for the food bank, either that or food. So be prepared to keep that in mind and bring some food and money for the food bank. Sheena would like to do a bingo night, and she's asked people for dates, and so no one would come up with an idea, so I said we would do it on December 18th, or excuse me, November 18th, right here. What time, Sheena? 6 p.m. Bingo, 6 p.m., 11:18. Good prizes. It should be a lot of fun. So the board meeting is next week, next Tuesday on the 9th. It's at 5:30. You are all welcome to attend. It's at the Janicki office building that's right across the street from Banner Bank. And if you do want to come, you have to kind of come in the secret way, which is on the south end of the building. Just come and knock, and someone will let you in. We will be making, I think we finally got the money issues sorted out, and we'll be making decisions on where to spend it next Tuesday. We're going to decide what recommendations to make to the club on where to spend the money next Tuesday. So if you're interested, please join us 5:30 p.m. next Tuesday on the 9th. Now, we're going to be still pressing on the silent items, and Sheena has got a plan, and I think she can tell you what it is. It's not to embarrass anybody, but it's to show who's doing well. Can you tell us about what you're going to do, Sheena?
I just made up a little graph, sent it to the team captains. And so it'll just be a % complete based on the number of people in your team, 3 items a person. And we'll see how many teams make it before the first of the year. So right now, May is, according to my numbers, cruising along ahead of everybody else. So if that's not the case, let me know.
Okay, so we'll have that, and we'll probably make some bigger posters and post that on the board, and maybe we can come up with some sort of prizes for the team that is able to do that. If you read my email last night, or at least read part of it, you saw that the Mount Vernon Rotary Club's having their 100th anniversary celebration at the Grand Willow, I believe is the name of it. And I think it's sometime this month, and I don't remember the exact date. But it's not an auction, it's a dinner. And if anybody would like to attend to that, please, we urge you to go and help them celebrate their 100th anniversary, just as it is our 100th anniversary. November 19th, very good. And so I urge anyone that is interested and can make it to please go. It's a limited number of tickets, I think 200 or 250. And it should be a lot of fun. And the Rotary found also in the newsletter thing, the email I sent out, if it came through, the Rotary Foundation is, this is a monthly giving to the foundation, and that is I'd like to have a donation by November 30th. So that's coming up. I'm going to be contacting the team captains in the next week or 10 days to see how they're coming along with their project. I know a couple teams are well on their way to having some ideas at least to do for the team projects. So get together with your team members and see what you can come up with. Is there any other announcements today? Anyone want to just say anything today? Okay, with that, let's have the Wheel of Fortune.
First number is 46. Last in the door.
Yeah.
How's driving? I believe we actually have one of those. Number 40. Brock is the winner. All right, we're gonna do one more today. $63. Chief with the win.
Let's see. What am I gonna donate to the Rotary auction? What's the prettiest one?
All right. Thank you. It's time for Sergeant of Arms, and I'm going to call on Carrie.
Okay, hi. It's been a long time since I've been Sergeant of Arms, and so you'll just have to forgive me right out of the gate. We'll just go through this together. But the first thing is we get to celebrate birthdays that are here with us today. Before I start with birthdays, I want to share, we do have 11 folks on Rotary that are birthday celebrators. Stephanie Bachmeyer, Thomas Bensick, Carl Garrison, Aldi, Tim Ware, Geoff McCann, Phil Mahalik, Mark Nielsen, Chris Rothenbuehler, Jada Trammell, and Ron Wilson. So happy birthday in advance to those folks. If you are a birthday person this week, will you please stand? Jada, you're the only one? When's your birthday? Yeah. Your birthday was Tuesday. Okay, so the gentleman said that I'm supposed to fine people with the birthday. I'm like, there's something inherently wrong with that in my mind. So I'm going to pay $5 for you as a fine for your birthday. Yeah, I know. Okay, all right. So anyways, okay, and Chad, you'll help me collect the money. All right, and then we also have anniversaries, but do we have any this week? Okay, so we'll hold off on anniversaries, right? Okay, all right. Okay, so now the next part is you have to select a team captain at your table that will just say the answer. So make sure you have a team captain. Okay. Mike. Okay. This comes with, okay. All right, so there's only two questions. There's only two questions, okay? And they both involve candy. So like, how cool is that, right? Like candy just out of the gate makes things better. All right, so at your table, you have to discuss. We just celebrated Halloween. I don't know how many of you all had trick-or-treaters at your home, but we just celebrated Halloween. And so your job is to come up with what is the #1 most popular candy for Halloween? And then we're gonna go around, you have to tell your team captain, make sure you're quiet, okay? And then your team captain is gonna say, okay? Maybe you guys, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, 5 more seconds. Okay, all right, time's up. Okay, who's your team captain? What's the answer? M&Ms. Okay, team captain here. Danny, what was your answer? M&Ms. Okay, all right. This group. Snickers. And this group? That's the #1 most popular? Okay, that's a weird choice, I'm just saying, but okay. Eric, do you have any thoughts? Huh? Reese's, okay, and? Snickers. Oh my goodness, everyone is paying in the room except for Eric Johnson because he got it right. It is Reese's peanut butter cups. So you gotta pay $2. $2. And because y'all are so sweet, everyone gets a Reese's peanut butter cup. So I just need help passing these out. Thank you. Okay. All right, now your team captain is still gonna be responsible. So the question is, what is the #1 least favorite popular candy? Okay, so what is the least favorite? What is the least favorite? Okay, all right, your team captain, go. What did you guys say? Candy corn? Okay, what do you guys say? What are you saying? Candy corn? What are y'all saying? Enjoy. Okay, what's your answer? Candy corn? Okay, do you guys have an answer? Raisinets, okay. So we only had 2 tables that got it wrong. The answer is candy corn. So if you got it right, you're off the hook. If you got it wrong, pay $2. And because you're the first person who said candy corn is the most popular, you get a whole bag of candy corn. All right, there you are. Enjoy. Feel free, it's an auction item. Feel free to enjoy. Okay, all right, so now I need help with this. Jada, will you help? Okay, we need to pass out. Oh, for the next 2 activities, if you do not want to participate, you have to pay $10. If you're in, you just got to play. Did everyone hear that? The next activity is kind of goofy. If you don't want to participate, the next activity is kind of goofy. So if you don't want to participate, it's okay. You just have to pay $10. If you're willing to be just a little bit goofy, you don't have to pay. You're just part of it. Okay, everyone gets a fork. And then Paula and Mike, I'm wondering, can we have you join this table? We pass out a cotton ball, 1 cotton ball for each table. Just one. Just one. Okay, and Eric, if you can join a table, that'd be great. Or, again, you have the right to refrain, you just have to pay $10. Okay, all right, does everyone have a fork? Okay, all right, and then Chad, thank you so much. Thank you, Jada, and thank you. I appreciate your help so much, Danica. Okay, so there's always a method to my madness. If you're like, why is she doing this? Why is she making us do this weird activity? It's because, do you guys want me, is that better if I take the mask off? Okay. Why is she making me do this? Well, what we found in working with youth and kids is that when we make things really fun and enjoyable and different and group-centered, they are more likely to stay away from choosing other activities that could be very harmful, such as using marijuana or using alcohol and so forth. And so this activity is just for fun. I literally made it up in my brain, so I have no idea if it's gonna work. Okay, FYI. So it's a competition. this is what your competition is, okay? Your job is your table group, and it's gonna, so whoever has the cotton ball, I see you have the cotton ball, right? So your job is you have to pass the cotton ball to the other person next to you using only the fork, and you cannot pick it up if it falls. So if it falls, you gotta pick it up with the fork. So you gotta pass the cotton ball to every person on the table, and the table that gets it all the way around first wins. Everyone else will have to pay. All right? You cannot stab the cat. Well, I guess you could. Okay. Wait. There's a rule, because I'm seeing this being broken right now. You, in order to pass, stop practicing. I'm just teasing. Okay. In order to pass the cotton ball, you can't stab it. Like, it has to be passed just delicately. Okay, are you guys ready? Are you ready? On your marks, get set, go. Yeah. Hey, Chad, do you want to start collecting money? Good job. That's a good move right there. Oh, I like that. That was good support. Good support. Well done, Carl. Oh, nice and smooth. Oh. Did you guys win? You didn't have a run? Okay, this table won. Woo-hoo! Okay. Well done. Okay, so if you didn't win, thank you for participating. You get to pay $2 if your table didn't win, but thank you for participating. Okay, there's one more. This one's a little bit easier. And since you guys destroyed your cotton balls, okay, there's one more. Okay, again, I made this up in my brain. This is not like a legitimate thing, okay? So, since some of the cotton balls are a little bit messed up and mangled with the stabbing, I'm gonna give your table a fresh cotton ball, okay? And this one is you have to use your non-dominant hand. So if you are a right-handed person, you have to use your left hand. You can, there you go. Okay, and here's what you're gonna do. Since it's the World Series, and passing a ball back and forth on the team is a good thing, and also batting a ball is a good thing, you're gonna take the ball, you're gonna take it, and you have to, maybe I can have Danica, like my job, I have to, like, I'm gonna pass it to her, and she's just gonna bounce it using her non-dominant hand to the next person. So you're gonna bounce it as fast as you can, and you have to go around 2 times around your table. If you drop it, you can pick it up. That is acceptable. Okay, so you're just literally like bouncing it. So getting your hand ready. There's no fork involved, gentlemen. No fork involved. You can drop your fork. The fork is on non-dominant hand, and I'm literally just gonna toss it around the table. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, give yourselves a round of applause. First, give everyone a round of applause. And this table, since you guys won, you guys are still off the hook. Everyone else just paid $1 just to finish it up. Thank you so much. All right, so now on to Happy Bucks. So what Happy Bucks do we have? By the way, thank you for playing and engaging in that goofiness and fun. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go, Doug.
I'm happy, Ken. It's good to see the Sedro Woolley Police Administration here. One thing that's neat about this community is Lynn started his career here and stayed here for 30-some years, raised his family, And now Dan's following his footsteps, started his career here, and hopefully will, continue this thing going on. So that's a lot to say. I don't think that happens any place, very many places, not just family inbred places, but.
I know there's lots of happy thoughts out there.
I have a happy 50. And the reason for that is, and some of you may not know, on the 18th of August, I had a moderate heart attack, I was told. I was at United General ER, and they said, we're going to ship you up to St. Joe's. And so for 5 days, I sat up at St. Joe's waiting for them to get a pig valve to put in my middle of my heart. And they were able to stabilize me and keep me away from the Grim Reaper for all that time, which I'm really grateful for. I can't say enough about United General ER people. They diagnosed it immediately, and they stuffed me in an ambulance and set me up there, and they got me stabilized. And on Monday, the 23rd, I had open heart surgery. They put in the valve and 2 bypasses. It's been 10 weeks now, and I feel like a new man.
That is a massive happy. Thank you. Okay, more happy bucks. Okay, I'm going to do a happy 20 for Jada and Danica taking time out of their special day to present to us. And I just really appreciate you ladies way in advance. So I'm going to do the happy 20. Okay, are there any more? Okay, with that, Rich.
Okay, thank you. It's time for early leavers. It's going to be a good program, so I urge you to stay, but I understand. So with that, I'm going to call on Jada to introduce our guests.
Go back. Perfect. Okay. I don't think I've ever spoke up here before, so thank you all for having us here today. We're really excited to be able to share with Rotary a little bit about our community coalition. And the name of our coalition is Sedro Woolley Rise, which stands for Rallying to Inspire Safe Environments. This is Danica Troop. She works with United General District 304, not the hospital, but the district. And I'm Jada Trammell, and I work for Sedro Woolley School District. And as of today and tomorrow, we co-coordinate Sedro Woolley Rise. Yeah, that was it. That was our show. No. So who are we? Who is Sedro Woolley Rise? Before I get into that, I'd really like to take this time to just recognize some of our people who either currently serve or who have served on our coalition, who are also fellow Rotarians. So just raise your hand when I call your name. Lieutenant Dan McElraith, Chief Lynn Tucker, Phil Brockman isn't here, Carrie Carlton, Carl DeYoung, I think I saw him sneak out, Mayor Julia Johnson, Tim Howland, Christina Trader, Dr. Miriam Mickelson, Mike Schwagert, Ruth Richardson, Rebecca Scrindy, Paula Kelly, and our newest member, Matt Mihalik. So thank you all. As you can see, this is like a diverse group of people, and that's really what our coalition is all about. It's a group of community members that are coming together with a vision that all youth are connected and thriving in a healthy and safe environment. And the overall mission is that they are a partnership to inspire and strengthen positive change to build a healthy community and prevent youth substance use. We're on now. We're used to Zoom, not in person, sorry. So here in Sedro Woolley, we are so fortunate that not only do we have great partnerships and so many community members that want to come together for our youth, but we also have 3 grants right here in Sedro Woolley. We have the Community Prevention and Wellness Initiative, which is funded through Washington State Healthcare Authority and managed by Sedro Woolley School District. We have the Drug-Free Communities Grant through the Office of National Drug Control Policy, managed by United District 304. And then we have the STOP Act grant funded through Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, also called SAMHSA, and that too is managed by United General District 304. So why do we care so much about preventing youth substance use? 2 words for you: mental health. We know that youth substance use has a direct effect on anxiety and other mental health disorders. As Lori Davidson of the Suicide Prevention Resource Center says, alcohol prevention is suicide prevention. And there is scientific evidence the same can be said for cannabis. So in addition to mental health, prevention in youth substance use also has a direct effect on academic success. We know that students who use substances have increased risk for academic failure, which also includes dropping out of school. We also know that marijuana use in young people has an even stronger negative relationship to the academic achievement than alcohol use does. Okay, so you may ask yourself, well, what is it that you're doing? What are you doing here in our community to address youth substance use? We are headed upstream. For those of you that don't know what prevention upstream is, it means that we are digging down and addressing the underlying causes that impact all of us and impact our youth. Our goal is to build resilience in our youth, to build the protective factors while reducing the risk factors. Doing this will have positive impacts on all of us individually and the public health of our community. We're doing this through implementation of programs and strategies. We're empowering our youth. We're allowing them to be involved and part of our community and helping them make decisions on what their future will look like here in Sedro Woolley. But another big thing, like I've said earlier, is the partnerships. We're partnering with community members, with leaders, and with organizations to make that change. So some of the fun strategies that we're working on here in our community, the first is PAC's Good Behavior Game. This is a program that we have at our schools in Sedro Woolley, and it's a program to build self-regulation, classroom management, and greater mental health outcomes. We also have an amazing high school prevention club. It is called the WISH Club, which stands for We Inspire Safe Habits. And I could go on all day just about the WISH Club, but I won't. Just know that they're amazing students and it's really a lot of fun. We also have Project Success, which is a partnership with the Northwest ESD 189. And that is really just bringing prevention programs directly into the classroom in our high schools. We have the Education Citation Program, which is in lieu of an MIP or minor in possession, the law enforcement officer can offer an education citation rather than that MIP. So it's keeping those kids in schools and off the books. We have our peer-to-peer program, which is, we have high school students who are certified peer trainers in prevention science, and they can go and train at middle school or even at the high school if they wanted. Another amazing group. And again, I could sit up here all day and talk about them. We have our positive community norm campaigns. We have Our Choice is Our Story, as well as Our Kids, Our Community. And then we have 2 drug take-back days per year. So those are just some of our strategies and programs that we wanted to highlight for you today.
Okay, let's see how this goes. I'm used to having like a screen in front of me and I have some animation, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm here to talk about one of our core strategies, which is our new campaign called Sedro Woolley Parents Rise. Hashtag Our Kids, Our Community. Okay, so this is a norms campaign, and you may be wondering, what are norms? If you are a fan of comedy in the 80s, you might be thinking of these 2 guys. I am a fan of 80s comedy, but that's not what we're talking about today. We are actually talking about the societal norms or social norms. So when I'm talking about norms moving forward, what I mean is norms are these things where it's what most people in a specific group think is acceptable, or just what most people do. So it's kind of this thinking part and then the also doing part. Together, these create the norms of the society. Let's see, come on, baby. I might just come over there. Is that okay? Is this okay if I come over here? Okay. Oh, this is going to be a little bit better. I'm sorry, I'm behind the flag. So there is a lot of theory. We could be here for 3 days talking about norms theory and not really cover it, but we're going to do it in about 30 seconds. The main idea behind norms theory is humans tend to do what they think most others do. We are social creatures. We like to live in groups. We just tend to, we don't want to be different from the group. We want to do what everyone else is doing. But here's the thing, especially with substance use and other high-risk behaviors, humans tend to overestimate how much everyone else uses. And what 40 years of research in norms theory has demonstrated is that correcting this perception is actually an effective strategy for changing behavior. And we'll see exactly what that means. So what are the norms in Sedro Woolley? And you may be wondering why there's a sheep there. Maybe not. I used the Microsoft design ideas in PowerPoint, and it automatically put a sheep, and I thought it was hilarious, and it took me way too long to realize it's because of Woolley, the woolly sheep, but maybe you knew that, but I left it in because I thought it was hilarious, and it made me giggle. So what are the norms in Sedro Woolley? How do we know what they are? Maybe you think you know. Maybe you're wrong. We will see. So we wanted to know, and we didn't want to just guess what we thought the norms in Sedro Woolley are. So we created a survey, and we got it out to parents. And we, after about 6 months of getting this survey out in the spring and summer and fall of 2020, we got 160 usable responses from parents of high schoolers. Spoiler, there were a lot of positive norms that showed up in this survey. But there was also a lot of misperceptions too. One of the things that we asked is, do you think it's acceptable to give your high schooler more than a sip of alcohol? And we had these 3 answers. No, it's never acceptable. It's acceptable under certain circumstances, or just, yeah, it's acceptable. We found that 80% said it was never acceptable. That is a norm. We have a majority. We have a super majority of parents who think it is never acceptable to give their high schooler alcohol. And then we asked, do you think most other parents think it's acceptable? So we're trying to see, what do they think the norm is in Sedro Woolley? Well, what we found is 56% thought most other parents thought it was acceptable. We call this a gap in norms theory. So on the one hand, we have the perception where most parents think everyone else thinks it's not acceptable, but 80% actually don't. What this might sound like is, I don't think it's acceptable, but I think everybody else does. Is that kind of making sense, this gap between perception and reality? Well, there's more. So we asked, okay, well, now you told us what you think. Have you ever actually given your high schooler more than a sip of alcohol? Never? Yes, once or twice? Yes, 3 times or more. We have a really strong majority. We have a strong norm. 78% have never given their high schooler more than a sip of alcohol. Well, what do you think most other parents do?
64% thought most other parents are giving their kids alcohol. We have another gap. Would you allow your high schooler to go to a party where alcohol is given to them? No, never. Yes, under some circumstances. Yes, almost always. 90% would never allow their high schooler to go to a party where alcohol is given to them. This is a super norm. Maybe that should be my next animation. I got to get Norm with the superhero coat on. So what do you think most other parents would allow? 40% still thought a majority of other parents would allow their kids to go to a party where alcohol is given. This is still a huge gap. So then we wondered, are parents who misperceive the norm, so who are in this gap, are they more likely to give their high schoolers alcohol? Turns out, yeah, big time. So parents who believe that most other parents think giving their high school alcohol is acceptable, so they misperceive the norm, had 4.3 times the odds of giving their high schooler alcohol. Parents who thought most other parents gave their kid alcohol had 10 times the odd of giving their own kids alcohol. You see, seeing this trend here, this misperceiving the norm, most parents who thought most other parents thought giving their high school alcohol was not acceptable had significantly lower odds of giving their own teen alcohol. So to say that if you were correctly perceiving the norm, you were less likely to give your kid alcohol. And this one stood out to me. 100% of the people who had hosted parties with alcohol thought most other parents thought it was acceptable. 100%. Now, if you remember, there wasn't that many parents who had thrown parties with alcohol. So it's a small sample, but it still stood out to me. Those parents think that what they're doing is in the norm. They think everyone else thinks it's fine and acceptable, but we know that's actually not the case. So to summarize all of that, misperceptions about what other people think in Sedro Woolley is a risk factor for giving your kids alcohol. And it suggests that correcting these misperceptions may actually change behavior. One other key finding that I thought was so important is parents who are giving their kids alcohol were doing it because they think it's helping their kid. They think, oh, if I teach them how to drink, they're not going to go crazy in college, or they're not going to binge drink, or they're going to trust me so that they won't drive under the influence. However, this has been researched pretty extensively, and we know that drinking alcohol as a teen, even when supervised as a parent or by a responsible adult, is associated with increased chances of developing anxiety and depression, and increased risk of binge drinking and alcohol abuse, both as a teen and later in life. So it's not protective. It's not protective to teach your kids to drink. The best thing that we can do is actually delay alcohol use as long as possible. And the other misperception that I hear often is, oh, kids aren't going to listen to me anyway. But the research does not bear that out. Parents' rules really matter. And non-use expectations, telling your kid often and regularly that we expect you to not drink while you're in high school, is one of the best things that you can do to prevent your kid from drinking alcohol. And those kids actually don't tend to party hard in high school or in college. So that's the psychology behind our campaign, the Sedro Woolley Parents Rise campaign, where we are trying to spread these positive norms, because we think if we can start changing these misperceptions, maybe we can start changing behavior. And there's so much good news here in Sedro Woolley. There is so much good news to share about the decisions that parents are making and what people think is good for their kids. So you can all help. We've got flyers. You can share this on social media. Everyone should have gotten little coffee sleeves with our messages on there. I don't know if someone wants to hold up a coffee sleeve. They're quite beautiful. And so, yes, there they are. So we're trying to get the message out in all these fun and creative ways. We've had billboards, social media. We're giving these sleeves out at football games, and especially on times where we think that there might be high risk of drinking, we're really trying to push these messages out. So is this interesting to you? If you want to get more involved, we meet the second Tuesday of each month online. We do more than just alcohol prevention. We do a lot of community level strategies. And recently, we're also talking about CBD products and drinks and beverages that are being sold, as well as Delta-8 products. And if you want to know more, you can come to one of our meetings. Yeah. Okay, that's what I have. What questions might I answer for you? Yeah.
Life conception and misconception. Pot is actually more damaging.
Yeah. So the question is about kind of comparing alcohol use and marijuana use in teens, and which is more harmful. I think, speaking in broad strokes, they're both harmful and they're both damaging. And they work in different ways. So I wouldn't say one is necessarily safer than the other. And there's certainly really high risk use for marijuana and really high risk drinking. The reason we chose alcohol is because it's the #1 substance that's being used by students. But marijuana is closely behind. So we do also have marijuana strategies. We just are focusing our campaign on alcohol use. And one of the reasons for that, we didn't talk about this, but one of the reasons for that is when we were looking at our data, we saw that the two places where kids are getting their alcohol, one is from friends, which I don't know what that means, but the second place is from parents with permission. And so we felt, oh gosh, that's something we as a coalition can probably really address. We think that that's something that we can really affect, is talking to parents and spreading these norms. Great question. We can do a whole nother thing on marijuana and adolescence. So just invite me back. Chris. As far as alcohol use? Oh, so yeah, so if I'm understanding, the question is, how does what's going on in Sedro Woolley with like the norms and perceptions compared to what's going on at the state and national level? This is super consistent. Pretty much every community you go to, every statewide survey, you see this exact same thing, where people misperceive how much other people are using and how much parents approve. And it's very consistent. So this follows the theory of social norms. So it was 100% what I expected when we did the survey. And it feels really good when you put it out and you get what you expect. So that was nice. I appreciate the question because it allows me to brag. Other questions? Okay. Oh, yeah.
Information campaigns we have going on, drilling down on how it affects the brain or stunts the growth of the individual, and drive that point home.
Yeah. So the question is, are we doing anything to do education about the harms of alcohol and marijuana use? The answer is yes. I will say, so if you scan the QR code on the flyers or on the coffee card, there's an FAQ section and it goes into some of those things. One thing I think is important, especially in regards to this campaign specifically, is we have reason to believe that just changing the perceptions, just changing what people think, will probably change behaviors. And what we found when we start putting a lot of facts in there, that our norms message gets lost. It's kind of like information overload. And so for this campaign, we're really trying to just focus on what other people think and what other people are doing in Sedro Woolley. But yeah, in some of our other strategies, and we have town hall events where we bring in speakers, we're definitely talking about the harms and the peer-to-peer, which I hope you will invite to come and do a presentation, a group of high schoolers that are doing marijuana education in younger grades. So we do talk about the harms in that. I think it would be great to have those peer-to-peer kids come. But that's what my mask is too. Oh, green guy. Great question. Okay, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be with the best Rotary in the universe.
Thank you, Donica. I have a pen for our appreciation for your program. It was very interesting. And I want to thank both of you for the program this afternoon. So with that, I think we are done. There are booklets, the new Rotary booklets, or there's some over there by the wheel. If you haven't got one, grab one on your way out. And if you can help clean up and take down things, that would be appreciated. Thank you. See you next week.